Coming up on this edition of ATV News.
People have a right to their own bodily autonomy.
We'll show you what 200 students are doing to reverse a university policy.
Come look at some different tractors, not just the normal kind you see.
We'll tell you why these tractors were driving down Aggie Bull-evard.
It got muddy here at the last trash car race of the season. I'm Sarah Murphy in Tremonton, and I'll show you just how dirty it got.
It's the first week of fall, and these people are enjoying the sun. We'll show you how long the sun's going to be sticking around in weather.
In sport, you win some and you win some more. We will show you the big goal from women's soccer this week.
All that and more, this is ATV News. You probably wouldn't have wanted to go on a walk a couple of weeks ago with all that smoke. From this view from Highway 89 by the university, you can just barely make out the Wellsvilles. Here's the same view from Saturday. The skies were beginning to clear up a bit, but it was even better on Sunday. The Wellsvilles were almost fully visible here, as was much of the valley. Welcome to ATV News. I'm William Boltez.
And I'm Leah Krishoni.
Although it was starting to clear up, you may have seen the smoke blow in again yesterday morning. Dalton Renshaw joins us live from Highway 89 to show you how the smoke could be affecting your plans for the rest of the week. Dalton, how's it going out there?
Thanks, Will. Yeah, it's still a little smoky out here. Cache Valley's been dealing with some pretty nasty smoke over the past couple of weeks, most of it coming from the West Coast and most notably from California. Now, if we look at the fire and smoke map on airnow.gov, we can see that most of California is clear at the moment. However, there's still some areas in Southern California with active wildfires. But the good news is, it looks like the air should be much clearer the rest of the week. As you can see, right now there's not much smoke hanging around in the valley. If we look at the air.utah.gov, Cache Valley is currently sitting at a 2.6, which is well under 12, which they classify as a threshold for good air quality. Now, if we look at the 3-day forecast, we can see good air projected through Friday, which means clear skies should be on the horizon for this weekend. Now, for all you football fans, that means that we should have good weather for the BYU and Utah State football game this weekend. Reporting live from Highway 89, Dalton Renshaw, ATV News. Back to you, Will.
Thanks, Dalton.
A Providence family is safe today after a soldering issue caused a fire in their basement. Although several units responded, the fire was not as bad as they thought. The fire was not related to the roof repairs, and no one was injured in the incident.
Utah just became the 32nd state to have half of its citizens fully vaccinated against COVID-19. This map shows vaccination rates across the country. Vermont leads the nation with 69% of its citizens fully vaccinated. It is one of 5 states with over 65%, and they're all in New England. West Virginia is the least vaccinated state with just 40%. It is one of 7 states, including our neighbors Idaho and Wyoming, with under 45% of its population fully vaccinated. Utah is in the mid-range with 50.3% of our state fully vaccinated. And now for an update on the number of coronavirus cases in Utah. There have been more than 100,000 new cases in Utah since we last reported on it in on April 14th, with more than 22,000 active hospitalizations. And there have been more than 500,000 total cases in Utah. In Cache County, there have been more than 11,000 new cases since April, with about 1,200 active hospitalizations. There have been almost 30,000 total cases. At USU, there have been 7 new cases since last week, with 91 active cases. There have been more than 3,600 total cases.
USU has been holding vaccine clinics to get students vaccinated in time for spring. Getting the vaccine means USU students can go to school next semester. The school joined other Utah universities in mandating vaccines last month. Unless students can prove a personal, religious, or medical exemption, they must be vaccinated to attend spring semester.
A student group is protesting that university vaccine mandate. By passing out flyers around campus, Young Americans for Liberty has gathered around 200 signatures for a petition to allow students to choose whether or not to get vaccinated.
People have the right to make decisions for themselves regarding their own body. This is my property, your body is your property.
Reese said he hopes to get 500 signatures and meet with President Cockett to try to reverse the school's decision.
After surviving a gunshot wound to the head 4 years ago, Cache Valley native DESERAE Turner has had to relearn her way of life. As Sarah Murphy shows, she's picked up some new hobbies and service opportunities to inspire others along the way.
I like them all, really. There's not really one that I don't like.
When it comes to flowers, 19-year-old DESERAE Turner says she can't pick a favorite.
They just brighten the day.
They all make her smile.
Oh, these are so beautiful.
4 years ago, DESERAE was shot in the head by 2 of her classmates.
Never imagined anything like that ever would happen. No.
But she says the injury caused her to take up a new hobby.
Lots of people were giving me flowers, and on my homecoming from the hospital, I just fell in love with flowers.
That was huge. Like, it was so kind of him to do that, but also it did something for us.
What it did, DESERAE says, was give her a desire to serve.
I knew from age 12 that I wanted to go on a mission. And then after the shooting, I was thinking that was not possible, until I looked into it and I learned about service missions.
Are you doing 18 months?
DESERAE now uses her knowledge of flowers every single day.
These guys are foxglove.
As a volunteer service missionary for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Right now, I am donating my flowers and putting them in bouquets and vases to donate them to hospice care and nursing homes.
But using the flowers for service hasn't caused DESERAE to forget about her own garden.
DESERAE says she comes outside in her backyard garden almost daily. She says surrounded by the flowers and the plants, it gives her a chance to escape.
I do think this will be my living.
Looking towards the future, DESERAE says she believes that where flowers bloom,
Here's a dahlia that's bloomed.
so does hope.
The thing about flowers is they're all so different, but they're beautiful, like me. I'm a disabled, high-functioning girl, but I'm beautiful.
Sarah Murphy, ATV News.
DESERAE and her mother say they plan to continue growing their backyard into a U-pick garden as a way to give back to the community.
Yeah, and did you know she's actually writing a book about her life experiences?
Is she really? Yeah. That is so cool. And coming up.
So today we got to see Spider-Man climb the wall. I am telling you, whoa.
Marvel and DC superheroes are from different comic universes, but they all come together for an event at the Family Place. The Family Place offers services to help strengthen families and protect children from abuse. They say they served more than 20,000 people this year, while staff at the Family Place try to solve the big problems. Coming up, we'll show you how they got big smiles from kids this Saturday.
I can grow a bigger pumpkin in Brigham City.
This pumpkin just set a new state record, and you'll never guess how much it weighed.
Coming up in weather, Dalton Renshaw will have the 7-day forecast. The current temperature is 62 degrees, excuse me.
Body language. Without saying a word, it can tell you so much. Like someone is having a stroke. Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time. Time to call 911 immediately. The sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in their recovery. Learn the body language, the sudden signs, and spot a stroke fast.
If you can say with me, imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. 'Cause every kid across the nation deserves a book to read, and we can make it happen right now. No, I don't know what you've been told. change a life.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
Welcome back. A Brigham City grower just squashed the state record for the heaviest pumpkin. Brigham City grower Ross Bowman broke the record with his pumpkin weighing in at 2,142 pounds, or about the same as a 1970s Volkswagen Beetle. A crowd gathered to watch Bowman harvest the pumpkin on Friday. A crane loaded the pumpkin onto a truck and took it to the Utah Giant Pumpkin competition. He says the key to success is
you need good seed, you need good soil, and you need good luck. And I might add to that, you need good neighbors too.
Bowman was all smiles with his neighbors and friends supporting him. He says he started growing pumpkins to see the smiles on their faces.
Batman's back might be still sore from the back handsprings he pulled off on Saturday. Emma Fates shows us what other super tricks made these kids smile at Family Place's drive-in superhero event.
Jumping Spider-Man, portal opening Doctor Strange,
you're gonna spin your hand,
and back handspringing Batman were among the heroes assembled on Saturday in one place, the Family Place.
They're iconic to me. I love Family Place.
Kids got to meet their favorite heroes at this fundraiser without ever leaving the car. Parents drove in, and the heroes brought the fun to them.
I would sneak up on them, and I'd walk around the big old display. I'd pop my head around this way and pop my head around this way, and then I'd point at them, and they'd point back. And then I'd hide again and pop back out, point at them, and they were scared, and I'd walk up to the car, look at them, and I'd go, I'm Batman.
Superheroes and staff members gave fist bumps and high fives to smiling kids, all while refusing to break character.
Say hi to Happy and Mr. Stark for me.
Not even for a second.
Look at my friend Spider-Man! While holding Captain America's shield is pretty cool, workers say what's even cooler is watching parents and children make these good memories together.
It's a parent-child bonding activity, and you get to meet superheroes like yourself. And this is my buddy here so that we can go and fight child abuse.
That fight never stopped at the Family Place, even during the pandemic.
We serve almost 25,000 individuals in this past year, even over COVID. We never had to turn away one child, one individual, one family from any of our services.
While the superheroes in this parking lot had dance battles, flexed their muscles, and scaled walls, Batman, or his alter ego Paul Jenkins, says the real heroes are at the Family Place every day.
I love Batman! Family Place does so much that I believe they save lives.
Emma Fates, ATV News.
A drive-by to maintain social distancing, but they say events like this are still needed in the community.
Well, it's that time of year again in Cache Valley. The leaves are starting to change, and we're only a couple weeks away from having to break out your rakes and start raking some leaves. And look how beautiful Cache Valley is. Now, if we move to the state forecast, you can see there's a little bit of a cell moving in on the bottom of the state and moving eastward. Not anything too crazy, not anything that's going to be bringing too much rain to the valley or to the state of Utah. Now, if we move on to the national forecast, you can see kind of the same thing going up, moving towards the north of the Mountain West with a little bit of rainfall, but down in the south is where things are really happening. There is a storm front moving across the south, bringing some hail and some rain to San Antonio. They had some big hailstorms overnight last night, causing some damage there. But if we move to the 7-day forecast now for Cache Valley, we have a high of 63 for today, moving to a high of 67 tomorrow, with the colder temperatures being in the start of this week, starting to climb up into the 70s the rest of the week. As you can see, we are going to have some cloud cover for the first couple days of this week. Friday and Saturday, a little bit of cloud cover. Starting to creep up into the 70s though, 73 for Friday and 73 for Saturday as well. Now, if we look at Sunday and Monday, it looks like the clouds are going to be kind of dissipating at that point, and the temperatures should be moving up into the high 70s. Looks like we have 75 for Sunday and 77 for Monday. with things starting to cool down just a tad on Tuesday with 76 degrees, a low of 43, and a little bit of cloud cover coming back into the valley. And that is all we have for weather, and we are going to send it back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Dalton. Hikers hit the trails looking for the little animal that could change the way you think about the environment. They scouted Stokes Nature Center Trail in Logan Canyon to look for the birds, even with the help of local bird experts and a guest ecologist. The birds themselves were not easy to see without binoculars, but workers say the walk helped start conversations about how our human impact can affect the wildlife and how taking the time to be in nature can give you a new perspective.
There's a transcendent element to that encounter, and it's a way for us to sort of leave ourselves and kind of see life through another being.
KNAPP says the best way to start learning is to start local. He says hiking the trails near you and learning about your local wildlife is the first step to understanding how you impact your environment.
A Facebook group hosted a film festival in Ogden. Yvonne Bass introduces us to some of the people that might be behind the next big hit you watch.
It is a symphony of visual and audio effects.
These are local directors, producers, editors, actors, and other crew members that are here to support each other's work.
We are here to celebrate local filmmakers in the community and finishing their projects. This particular festival is about post-production.
They say that it's easy to start a project, but finishing it is a different story.
The people that finish the films are the ones that really create the film. You know, the editors just stitching it all together, the ones that really give
They bring it to life.
Yeah, they're the ones that bring it to life.
You probably go to the theater to see famous blockbusters, but today we are able to come and see some smaller scale independent movies.
To see it on the big screen was really cool.
They have festivals like this to help with networking and inspiring others.
You can see how much talent is in Utah. The community is a little tighter. I moved from Los Angeles to be in show business in Utah.
I'm super excited for the people in the community tonight because they had some great stuff.
Yvonne Bass, ATV News.
IMDb says Algea, God of Pain, the movie the farmer couple are producing, is one of the top 10 horror movies people are looking forward to in 2022.
You can look forward to Algea, if you are interested by following the link on our Facebook page. And I am actually very interested because I love horror movies.
Yeah, and it's also really cool that that's Utah filmmakers, local people who are making that.
Yeah, super cool. And coming up.
It's a mix between the demolition derby and a dirt track race.
We'll show you the damage from the last trash car race of the season.
They don't really have much of a lot of venues to play at.
We'll show you how this event helped local musicians.
We adjusted poorly. We got out-coached. They made better adjustments than we did.
USU football lost their first game of the season. CHANG will show us what Coach Anderson says was their downfall in sports.
You sure you don't want some? It's chamomile. Listen, you are extremely terrifying. Just the scariest undead subhuman thing on TV, and I really mean that. But I am worried that you could give my kids nightmares if they see you, so I'm gonna have to block you. So that's it. Oh, and tell the zombies they're blocked too.
Today, 1 out of every 4 American kids is Hispanic.
That means many of the future doctors who will care for us, the engineers who will build our cities, the scientists and entrepreneurs of our country can be your kids.
We all know how hard it is for you to send them to college. This is why we want you to know you are not alone.
And every day more people support you to make it happen. Many support you. And the Hispanic Scholarship Fund helps you prepare, plan, and pay for your kids' college education.
hsf.net.
Welcome to ATV Sport. I'm Ting Chen. After a two-game winning streak, the football team lost their first game of the season.
From their 42, Bachmeier short throw has time.
There was a lot of action at the Maverick Stadium on Saturday, where the Aggie took their BOISE Stadium. There was a lot of horsepower behind the Bronco defense line displayed by number 21 Tariq Jones. The Bronco beats the Aggie 27-3. Here's what the head coach Blake Addison had to say about the game.
We didn't do a great job, not so much not preparing, but didn't do a great job of adapting throughout the course of the game.
The Aggie will take on BYU this Friday at home. This win kept on coming for the women's soccer team as they face the Nevada Wolfpack this weekend. The assist from number 10 Ashley Cardozo with the follow-up from the number 14 Jordan Foraker win the game for the Aggie, 2-1. This win kept the Aggie in their top spot in the Mountain West Conference. The men's cross-country team won first at the Idaho State Invitational over the weekend with 26 points. They are ranked 17 in the nation. The men's golf team went to Colorado for the Colorado State Invitational, where they played 16 out of 16 teams. In high school football, the Skyview Bobcat took on Logan Grizzly on Friday. The Grizzly got on board in the second quarter with this touchdown from the number 5 Gizzy Johnson, putting them up 7-0. With play like this, the Bobcat pulled back and won the game 42-7. You are all caught up on sport. Now back to you, Will.
Thanks, Ting. Drivers' cars might be one step closer to the junkyard after the last trash car race of the season. Sarah Murphy shows us the qualifications to race and how you could even do it yourself.
When the green flag waves go, it's flying mud, burning tires, and smoking engines. But it's not a derby, and it's not professional drivers. It's trash car racing.
We're just gonna have some cars and crash them up.
I describe it as NASCAR and a demolition derby had a baby, but you go a lot slower.
There you go. Drivers say the goal isn't always to win.
Checkered flag.
But it's to not break down.
If you finish, doesn't matter if you place.
As long as you can drive your car on the trailer,
you win.
I'm sitting here in one of the winning cars of the night. Now, drivers say in order to compete in trash car racing, you have to make sure there's no windows, glass, or plastic, and you have to wear a helmet. We took the glass and everything out, and that's it.
But drivers say despite the many crashes, safety is not a big concern.
If you look at the time and effort all of us are putting in our cars, it's about 10 times more dangerous for us to drive home tonight than any of us here.
We have helmet requirements, seatbelt requirements. This is actually a really safe sport.
Drivers say it not only brings people together, but anyone can do it.
You don't have to be a good driver. You don't have to be a redneck. City folk, more than welcome.
If you want to have fun, that is the one thing you have to have if you're going to trash car.
Sarah Murphy, ATV News.
That was the last race of the season, but drivers say they're already starting to prepare for their cars now for the next season.
The College of Agriculture and Applied Sciences Week continued with ag students driving tractors down Aggie Bull-evard for the annual tractor parade. Honking tractors, candy throwing, and waving kids were the highlights of the parade. Cache County residents say that not only are the tractors cool, but it's a fun event for everyone.
Tractors are awesome, but mostly because it was something to have the kids do today.
The parade started as a way to honor the death of the students and the instructor who died in a van crash in 2005.
You could get a free concert if you go eat at Blue Square. Musicians say events like Jammin' at Blue Square are important because they allow them to perform for an audience.
It makes people happy, it gives them an outlet, and it sparks hope in people.
This was the last night of Jammin' at Blue Square, but organizers are planning similar events in the coming months.
If you're tired of eating the same things all the time, you might want to check out Logan's newest Taste of Europe. Dalton Renshaw brings you inside the store.
The ring of a doorbell welcomes you in, but shelves stocked with European treats is what customers really look forward to when they head to one of Logan's most recent additions, the European Food Club.
I was just impressed by how much was there. Like, I'm not an expert on European foods, but I was surprised by how much there was of everything.
You might be wondering, where do all their products come from?
Worldwide.
At the moment, they carry products from 13 European countries, including Russia, Germany, England, Finland, and Croatia. Depending on who you talk to, each customer seems to have their go-to snack.
There was a little Armenian flag on it, and so I have an Armenian connection. My grandma's Armenian, and I'd never seen anything like that carried in a store before, so I had to pick up my zucchini spread, and then there was another, it was some kind of passion fruit mango juice that is Armenian too, so I picked up both of those, and I'm thinking that's going to be my go-to.
Angela and Bri LOFLAND opened the European Food Club in August of this year. The inspiration behind the business?
Because I love meeting different people.
It's crazy how many people
Yes.
are here from all parts of the world. This little valley's not so little anymore.
Although the store opened just 2 months ago, they say they've doubled in size in that amount of time, bringing in new products every day, with plans to expand even more and bring in even more new products.
And then we've had people come in and say they've requested things, so we've added a little bit here, a little bit there, and it's German stuff, UK stuff. You know, the list keeps growing on what to get.
We have a lot of ideas.
The LOFLANDs say in addition to selling foods from around the globe, they want to establish a place of community for the people of Cache Valley.
I would like to see more people, and just, you know, so that we can meet, and hopefully, you know, they can meet even with each other here, to have like different community, different experiences, different type of food, you know. It's just great if we could just all share with each other.
Dalton Renshaw, ATV News.
You can find the store located at 880 South Main Street here in Logan.
Thank you for joining us on this edition of ATV News.
You can find the previous editions on our Facebook page.
We'll leave you with some more Jammin' at Blue Square.
Have a great week, Cache Valley.
Posting on Facebook and thinking all day long. Wishing I could be stuck at home. It will not last. Everything feared has come to pass.
And I like to play music.
Tomas assumption, que te habías enamorado hace unos años sin decirme nada.